Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe, and you're checking out Weekend at Gabe's, and thanks for checking out this latest episode. While you're here, also follow us on these social medias at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, and also at The Real Sam Crane. Thanks for checking us out.
Due up next here on Weekend at Gabe's, he is a Southside resident. Hit the air horn. He's out here hunted down. He goes by the name KoiFsh, young upstart MC, super hella smart. Got a degree from Cornell.
Ooh.
He should be
Yo,
doing our show. We should be a guest on his show. That's all. How are you,
Absolutely.
sir?
I'm great. I'm really great. Today has been an interesting day. I just had something to eat. I'm comfortable right now.
You look very comfortable in that lazy boy. Let me just tell you.
Yeah, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? This is actually my office slash living room.
How do you get any work done from that chair?
I get it done. I don't know what to tell you.
One way or another, I suppose.
I ran into KoiFsh last Thursday night over at the Breaking Sound, and he was like, "So, what are y'all gonna ask?" I was like, "Whatever we could dig up." And he's like, "Oh man." So it's gonna be fun though. Don't worry about it. Like it's gonna be great. But you got the new record out there, Glorious. It's absolutely fantastic, man.
Thank
Is this gonna set up for something bigger soon? Hopefully.
you. Actually, yeah. See, right now I've been sitting on my album that I've had in the work since like last year, and I've just been shipping it around for different opinions and things. My plan was to get like 2 videos and then go ahead and drop it. And whenever that's done, then I can start the rollout for it and everything. And then after that, a little while of letting that cool down or do what it has to do, maybe perform it at some places and stuff. I have another mixtape in mind. Songs already are done. It's just kind of lined up. And well, Inglorious wasn't even meant to happen like that. I just kind of had the verse on hand. I was in the studio with Ryan and Kyer. Shout out Slut Mob. And
I had to throw the air horn one time for
that's
you.
for the air horn out, man. You know what it is. Right quick. We was just in the studio and Ryan pulled up the beat. I heard that. I was like, hey, this could go. I looked at Kyer. I was like, you trying to step back up and rap? And that's generally how it happens. We don't really, put much thought into these moments or anything like that. It was like, you trying to rap? Come on, let's do that. And the song just came together how it did.
Hell yeah. I saw an interview with Vision Vocal, and they said, when did you start taking this music shit serious? And you said, I don't ever take it serious. And I thought that was the best answer that anybody could give to that question. I've heard that question asked a million times. What does that mean to you? Because you kind of described it in the last question as far as like the relationship you got with your brothers in the studio and just getting to work,
Right.
lazy boy or not. So what does that what does that look like as far as you just maintaining the fun of
You know how you don't have to try to breathe?
it? Yeah.
I generally don't have to try to rap like that when I want to rap. That's the thing. Like when I feel like okay, this is a beat I can rock. I feel like I got a flow right now. I could get some words together and just go how I gotta go. Like it when I realized I had flow, when I realized I had the rhythm for rapping and things like that, I took the time to study. Then I was like, okay, I could just catch any pocket and figure that out however that song needs to come together, whether that's going to be something with a hook, chorus, whatever. It's just kind of we got it broken down to a science. It's just fun to do at this point now. So it's like I don't have to take it serious to the point to whereas I'm really trying to prove myself on every song I get on and everything. It's just when it comes time, I can step up and do that anywhere.
Hell
Whether
yeah.
that's in the studio, in person, if somebody asks me to rap, or if I'm just at a show and somebody passes me a mic, I can do that.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, one of the things that you said in that same interview was the support you received from your family, where they're actually like enjoying your records. It sounds like, that usually when whenever I know that as a teenager or a young adult, whenever you're doing something, you try to shy away from attention. But that's kind of cool that they've been receptive in accepting what you're doing and how good you are at it.
It feels really good because it's like the same thing of when people first meet me and I tell them I do music, and then they have that fear like, oh, he's gonna give me his SoundCloud. This isn't gonna be good, and it turns out to be actually good. Like that. It's in that same range of that because they know the type of ethic I put into it. So it's
Sure.
nice to get that recognized.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, why is it that you don't really like fucking with other rappers? Like it seems like it's your team and that's it. Like and I understand and you explain this why, but I just want to hear you kind of clarify why it's just not you getting in the studio with someone else is just not realistic.
It's a rare thing. Like every now and then, I refer to it as somebody catching me. Should I be in that studio moment, and then they have something nice, and they're like, "Oh, you want to jump on this?" And I have a verse, just a free one there. I'm like, "Well, damn, you done caught me. You got a verse," and it just happens like that. Like
That's
happened
really
a
what it
couple
is.
times.
You got to catch the koi fish. You got to bait the
So
hook or something.
Cause I go out, but I rarely pop out like that, and then just end up in various studio sessions with other people because it's like I can't just match up with everybody like that. It's a
Yeah.
very sacred process as far as if we're on the same page, we could go ahead and do that. It's rappers out there who I would definitely give verses to. I'd happily give a verse to. I wouldn't mind doing that. That was my New Year's resolution to start doing more collab
yeah,
verses, a whole
features.
lot more like just reaching out doing features wherever I might be needed or getting somebody on my stuff. But yeah, it's usually been a thing of me not being on the same page as some people.
Mm.
Word.
It's not a thing of me saying like, I don't fuck with y'all like that. It's just not
Nah,
me.
I hear what you're saying though, as far as like you don't pop out to like link at the studios as much. And
Right.
I hear you in a place right now where you're gearing up for a big release, you're gearing up to do more shows, and that absolutely makes sense. But maybe once that album comes out, you got a little stuff to put behind you, then you might find yourself in them studio sessions where you can finally give those verses to people.
Listen, I'm open to it. It's just a matter of it being, right, if that makes
Right
sense.
time, right
It
place,
gotta
right
be
time.
right.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Cause like I'm at a point right now because I have this entire album and the entire mixtape on my mind. I really can't. Think of it as a hard drive. I can't really come up with much of anything else until I get rid of those files. As soon as I
Yeah.
get that out of there, and it's somewhere else stored, I can just load up the hard drive with something new.
Word.
Word.
And the people that help you curate that hard drive, obviously Slut Mob. We talked about Kair. We talked about Ryan with an X. We had an interesting question from our production intern, who we didn't want to ask so much about the forming of Slut Mob or how y'all got together type stuff, because I think that's been done before. But there are so many situations in rap music, especially, where the best of friends become the best of enemies.
Right.
And that storyline seems to play out again and again and again. But with y'all, it seems like you got this really tight bond. And I think it goes back to that sort of not taking it seriously. But speak to how you keep that family relationship so close when it's also business.
Right. We talk
Mm.
every day. We try to, I I personally I do, emotional support check-ins and shit like that. Like I just text them like, "Oh, what's up?" Or we all link up, go for some food or some shit, or link up in the studio, watch some shit, watch some anime, go out, just do shit. Like I've made it more of a thing to do that since it's been getting a little bit warmer outside, that we just kind of pop out and go do some stuff. So it's a thing of us always kind of getting together and seeing where each other head at.
Hell yeah.
Mm. I wanted to ask a little bit about because you were talking about like the studying different artists, and I tip my hat to you because I don't think that a lot of younger artists necessarily pay attention to things that happened before their time, but because your mom was invested into hip hop and she was obviously listening to classic or great MCs, you were kind of given given this service of hip hop that just happened to be at a high excellent level of Jay Z and all these other artists from that era of the Blueprint. But talk a little bit about like studying those artists and listening to cadences, listening to flows, the designing of songs, and how that helped you become a stronger artist in the MC.
So I want to say it was about seventh grade that some friends of mine in another class they told me about Childish Gambino, and I was hearing a little bit about Chance the Rapper, and then Kendrick was blowing up. I was getting into Joey Badass, and it just kind of
Right.
expanded from there. And it was like sixth grade that I had an English project, and I told my friend Justin about this. Shout out Justin. Um, we had an English project where we had to like make a poem or rap about what it is we wanted to be in the future. And I ghost wrote for most of the team except for my one friend Samuel. He for whatever reason he surprised us. He had raps ready. I was like, "Oh, you're in this, all right."
He had
He
been
was
waiting
rapping
for
about
this moment for years.
he was rapping about wanting to be in the CIA as a sniper and shit. I was like, "Yo, he got it." But I realized that I was like, okay, I could do poetry. Seventh grade turned into me hearing about all these artists and everything, and eighth grade, freshman year to sophomore year, I was just studying. I was just absolutely studying. Now, my mom, coming up, all I heard her bumping was a lot of LL Cool J,
Ooh,
Good
Wayne,
choice. Yep.
Jeezy,
yeah,
Yep.
Jay Z, and Dipset.
classic.
That's hard.
Those are the main ones I remember from. It was a slew of other things, but those are the top five right there that I could say that she was always bumping.
Hmm.
And as I was learning about art, artists, as I was coming up, just studying and everything like that, I took a step back. So for a time being, I was, into Kendrick, Cole, Joey Badass, Childish Gambino, Chance the Rapper, and then everybody else in Chicago. I was just getting into Chicago music, and then I took a period of time and just listening to Tech Nine, Strange Music, everybody over there, and
Shout out
then
Kansas
I got
City.
real deep into Wu Tang. Stuck with
Good
that for a
choice.
little bit. Our Future came into the scene. That's what I was throwing about that. So I was really big on Tyler, really big on Earl, really big on Sid, really big on just everybody in the group. And as time went on, I started picking up those styles a little bit more. Like Tyler, I couldn't really grasp his style that much at the time. But then Earl, and then that transitioned over into Doom, and then just various other acts as it came up. Then I got into like Flying Lotus, aka Captain Murphy, and it just kind of expanded. And I just kept picking up different tools of the trade. And I want to say about like sophomore year, that's when a friend of mine, Uriel, shout out my man's Atlas Quest, he invited me to a studio session, and I had a verse ready because I was just rapping over Dr. Dre's Deep Cover. I had a verse
Sure.
for that. I think I still remember it. And yeah, I just hopped in and had my first recorded session. I was like, oh yeah, I'm nice. Like I felt it. I didn't have to read it. I just knew it. I was like, let's go. I could do this. And since from that point on, it just kind of went up.
Man.
That's amazing.
2016 into 2017, I had just got back from China. A friend of mine told me about some friends of his he went to school with, Ryan and Kyer. Said, "Hey yo, I know these other rappers. You should meet them." So we all linked up in his basement, smoked a blunt or two. It was just rapping over beats. So I was like, "Yeah, I need them." And from that point on, we was a crew.
Word. Let's I want to get to this next question in a second, but let's take a moment to reflect now, because you got the new singles out. Also Fear of Doubt, which has a music video that we haven't quite touched on yet. But we are also about 1 year removed from your last LP, which was Anywhere But Here. How do you reflect on what's been a year since that release and what that release meant to you?
That's the second child right there. That was a real fun process to come up with. It was a lot of late night drives, a lot of nights of me sitting in my car, a lot of sake. I caught up on all of One Piece in that process. I was doing it. Um, couple shroom trips, got lost in the forest a couple times. You know, some great pandemic depression, and it was just some day like my go-to uniform for that summer was jeans and a white tee, and I was not shaving. I had a beard and everything. It was a good time. I was on my real Hermit vibes. I was around the time when I recorded Hermit too, and somebody had talked to me because I was like, I'm not sure how to move forward with dropping music. I don't know how to do this because who's paying attention to this right now? Everybody's inside. Nobody is really gonna listen to this like that. It's like if you just keep piling up those songs and you will find a medium for them. And after I did Herman, I had a feeling about um just what everything that was going on. I saw how some people was living just because we couldn't go outside, and I was like, I'd like to be anywhere but here. I like to be anywhere but this
Mm,
political climate,
yeah,
anywhere but this pandemic, anywhere
yeah.
but my money standings, anywhere but all these other worries and things I have in the world. I just like to be anywhere but here. And that was the thing. It was the 4th of July. That was the Kaya remembered this very vividly, but we kind of got lost in the forest tripping on shrooms. And we made it out. High five, went home, took a shower, and I was just on my grandma's. I couldn't even pay attention to the fireworks, and it was 4th of July. I was just thinking. I was in my head. I'm just like, all right, what's going on? Like, it's that one point in the trip where you just ask those deep questions, and I was just stuck on that thought, and I was just like, all right. And from that point, it just hit me anywhere but here, and I just stuck with me. I was like, "Alright, that's gonna be the title," and it was just a process of figuring those songs out, even while I was away at school, and came together how I needed it to.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And fast forwarding now to this video that you have out, which, if I'm right, Fear of Doubt is video 1. So you waiting on one more video, or am I wrong? It's 2 more videos to
Oh
come.
no, Fear of Doubt, that's something separate. Fear of Doubt is actually going on. So,
Okay.
the upcoming album is called Full Metal Heartthrob.
That's a Weekend of Games exclusive, and we love that here on this show. That's why I gotta hit the siren, give it the ambiance.
The mixtape after that is called Loose Change.
Mm.
Is that the Lucy's that didn't make the album, or is it a different project entirely?
Completely different project. These some raps that came to me the same way Loose Change does. It's just kind of there.
I love that. I love
And anywhere, any place, anytime I can pull him out my pocket.
that. Hell
Let's
yeah.
go. Let's go.
Talk briefly about Fear of Doubt, the video that came out, I believe just before New Year's,
Yep.
and working with the director, Matthew, on that one.
So, this is another one of those. So this is like another one of those examples of just how our work ethic goes. That was not a serious song at all. It was not intended to go as crazy as it did. We just kind of was doing something. I was sitting in the studio with Ryan. I forgot what other song I had recorded that day. It was probably something else from the project because I was just crossing things off the list. But we was just going through samples on Splice and came up on that piano loop. It was like he played it. He looked back to me. I was like, "What you think?" I was like, "Load it up." So I'm just listening to it, getting a groove for it. He throw the drum break over it. I was like, "Okay, I'm writing some somber shit." That's why you got the first half sounding how it did,
Right, yeah.
and then we have a beat change. I'm right. I'm looking. I'll just look up. I'm like, "So you going there?" He's, "Why not?" I was like, "All right," and I would just walk around that like me and him was just head nodding the whole time. It was just me and Ryan in the stew, just feeling that beat. He had the bass going and everything, and I was just figuring out like, what's the energy I could come with for the second part. I was like, all right, this is the ultimate fuck it we ball type of song. Like that's the energy for this, regardless of how life is going. I'm okay because I'm good at what I do. I live the way I do, and I'm gonna do this shit till I die. That's the way it goes.
Hell yeah.
Um, and I just stuck to that energy the whole way through. And the point when he took the rest of the beat out, and it was just the bass, praying on my back like a nigga really worked for them. I was like, okay, I'm taking it there. Believe it or not, that flow right there came from Yachty's 3-6 talk.
Never.
That's where I
Mm.
figured that out. I was listening to that song earlier that day. Like I had the first part of the first few blocks of rhyme together for that portion of the song, and then I thought about it. I was like, wait, I could use that here. And immediately, Preem on my back, like that was the line right there. I took that. I was like, okay, it's hot. Let me just keep stacking that, and just took it all the way to the end.
Right.
And I couldn't stop playing it after we recorded it. I was just like, this is probably the best shit I've done, and it was on accident. I don't know. And so as time passed, I was like, I gotta get a video for this. And so hit up Maddie B, told me the price. we got together. We chose a day. It was like, let's hit up this Target. We hit up the Target on Roosevelt Road, and shot there for the first few things. Went to Ryan's studio, shot in there just to get the visuals. Went outside to a nearby park or church grounds, and then we slid over where to Kyr's old place that he lived. He used to live on the South Shore apartments, and over there on the rocks, that's what we had that last shot over there where you just see all three of us going crazy, just silhouettes of us. And we ain't need no more shots after that. I was like, that's perfect. It's sweet to the point. We don't need nothing extra. We don't need nothing special. It's just us. And yeah, it came together so well. I mean, you know, got a little bit of promo on that, had people posting everywhere and everything, and it just blew up. And it's honestly catching up. It's like passed up most of the songs in my discography. It's great.
Word. That was definitely the first one that got my head up for sure. When Fear of Doubt dropped, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was that was the whole goal. I guess because I had it done at that time, I was like, I could drop this at the top of the year just to give them a quick little sucker punch, so you know what I'm about for this year.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Before we get out of here, I want to ask a little bit about. We talked about this at the top when introducing you. So you're a graduate from Cornell with a computer science and art degree. How do you merge that education background into hip hop and creating records? Is there any sort of common thread or theme between the two at all? Is there any skill set that you can bring from one to the other?
The most I could say is some of the covers that I've had on my projects. Like I'll make those, or I just ask Ryan to hit. I hit up Ryan, or I hit up any of my other friends who are good with graphic design or making digital covers. But for the most part, I haven't found a real direct application of both of them. I mean, I stay on my computer a lot of the time, working from home daily, but also just uploading my files or uploading my covers and things like that. But yeah, that's the most I do with it.
Oh, yeah. I got two quick questions before we let you go here. I was thinking about KoiFsh a lot today, and I wanted to look up the symbology of it. So I found that KoiFsh as a symbol are associated with strength of character, perseverance, accomplishment, and courage. Do you relate to that?
Very much so. That's been me all my life. That's actually why I kind of stuck with it. So the name KoiFsh came about because again, shout out to Uriel, aka Atlas Quest. In high school, he had a rap group with some friends of his, like that were in school and some that was just everywhere else, and they were known as Goldfish Gang. Everybody had a name pertaining to an animal in the sea, like sushi, flounder, tuna, yada yada yada. I couldn't think of a name for any of that. I just went with the name Tempest for the time, and that's a little inside joke that me, Ryan, and Kyer have just every now and then. That was me for like 2 days.
They call you Tempest in the studio when it's whack,
Yes,
huh?
yeah. I just like it don't work. It don't work. I thought it was cool, but it ain't cool. A wild storm over the waters, whatever. So I just went back to Armani, stuck with that. And then for a period of time, I had a real obsession with the koi fish. Like I had it as my background, had the phone case. Um, Somebody came back from Taiwan with some koi fish chopsticks for me, koi fish textiles and everything like that. I was just like, I'm gonna just be koi fish. That's just gonna work. At first, it was KoiFish, and then I thought to remove the I in there because one, I'm a fish with no eyes because I'm blind and wear glasses. But also, since it's KoiFsh, it's the same number of letters as Armani, so it's still me all the way.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I just stuck with koi fish. After I graduated from high school, the day after I went and got my first tattoo. And then I want to say like couple weeks before I left for college, I got a koi fish tattoo on my left arm. And at that point I cemented it. That's me. And so, the mythology behind the koi fish is that it is the fish in which that swims up the waterfall. At the end of it, it becomes a dragon.
Hell yeah. And another one of the things that it symbolizes is longevity. So I'm expecting at least a 15-year career like Prob Calls, our first guest here tonight. So 15 years. You locked in?
I'm locked in. I mean, I've been locked in. It's whatever.
Word up. All right, last question before we get out of here. We like to have a little fun. You talked in the last interview about your passion for yerba mate. It's not uncommon. We have had a lot of yerba mate press here on this show. Lots of people repping for that drink. I'm thinking about Asar particularly and his endorsement with Sprite. If people should go back and watch when Weekend Gabe did the Stone Cold beer cans thing with Sprite. But what is one endorsement that you would love to have from a company?
Damn. Endorsement I'd love to have from a company. Yerba mate would slap for sure, cause like I could live that life. Probably a Vans endorsement, cause I wear Vans a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot of their clothing, like shirts, hoodies. That goes Supreme. Get at me.
Hey, you heard the man. You heard the man, Supreme.
But that meant some Supreme gear ASAP.
I feel like since I said that line, I have to up my collection of Preem now. Only got two pieces. That's this that I'm wearing right now in the green jacket you saw in the video. So like, give me some more Preem.
Hey, if you out there, birthday's coming up, Christmas is around the corner. Let it fly.
Yeah.
Let it fly.
Yeah. KoiFsh, thank you so much for giving us your time tonight on Weekend at Games. We appreciate it. We look more forward to seeing more from you and also all your upcoming projects and look forward to having you back on the show in the future.
Thank you so much. Glad to talk with you guys.
All right,
See you soon,
KoiFsh here on Weekend at Games. And that's going to wrap us up. We're done. We went into overtime a little bit, but it was necessary because our guests were so great tonight. So hopefully you guys stuck around for that. I like him. I like Corey a lot. I'm so glad I got introduced to his sound, his music. I love his story, his background. He seems like someone that's relatable.
He reminds me, discovering Koi's music now reminds me a lot of the first time I discovered Baby Keem's music. And just seeing this disruptive character that doesn't really care. Not that he's paying attention, he's studying the game and what it is, but he doesn't care for the rules or how you want to put people into boxes. The man is breaking barriers, doing what he wants, maintaining the fun, not taking it seriously, doing it with his brothers, and all of that is to be respected, man. So more life and more blessings to him. I'm sure we will see him again soon on this show.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe. Thanks for checking out this latest episode of Weekend at Gabe's. Click on any of the links swirling around my head and also hit the subscribe button while you're here. Thanks for checking out us here on YouTube.